our crib. Come on in.
Hi, we're the Parker Alley family. My name is John, my wife Heather.
I'm Madden.
I'm Mason.
I'm Jackie. I'm Preston.
And we have a kind of a unique story as far as what we do. Heather and I are realtors in the northern Cincinnati area, and we've loved real estate for a long time, and it's always been something we've been very passionate about, and so we got involved in kind of flipping our own personal properties as we live in the property, kind of renovating it. So a little bit hectic, and we kind of wanted to share a little bit of our story and maybe encourage some of you who are thinking to do something similar, and maybe through the process of this film you can get an idea of what we go through and how stressful it can be and also how fun it is. So, but we do have a unique story how we got started, and Heather would like to share that with you.
So a little bit, I'm going to backtrack many years ago to when we first started to purchase our first home, and we learned we had to get pre-approved right away. So we went to the bank and found out that not only could we not get pre-approved, but we were had to do a lot of damage control to get to that point. So well,
it was actually a funny story, because when we went to the bank, have the algorithms they plug in and say, based on your income and your debt and how much you can get approved for a house, we would not have gotten a house, and we still owed the bank money somehow. So it was like a negative what we got approved for. So it's kind of funny. There are online tools that you can do, and it says how much can you afford, and it's supposed to say you can afford a $200,000 house, and instead there was a red number. We're like, I think that means negative. So it was kind of funny. So we really hit the pavement, really worked on clearing up our credit, saving money, and a year later we built our first house. Later we got transferred and kept that as a rental, and we just realized that real estate really is available to anyone, and you can really use it to build wealth for your family. So when we had that rental property, we lived our lives states away and we're creating income for us without doing anything. So we continued down that path and buying homes that we thought were the lowest of the one on the street no one wanted. We purchased it, would fix it up, sometimes easy fixes like paint. As we've gotten more advanced, we've started to do more and more, and that's kind of where we are today. This is our 6th home that we've purchased, and there's been a lot of pros and cons to it. Some of the cons are moving a lot, but we kind of just wanted to share our story for people that may want a second stream of income or have interest, and kind of show the good, the bad, the ugly, and just kind of our life story. We'll start with those screws.
Where's that? You said you took off the trim piece right here?
Right behind you.
We might need to add that to the exposed side of this vent.
We did something different.
Are these the cabinet doors?
Yeah. My drill won't fit in here, so I'm using my arm as a drill. It's not fun. And I'll feel it tonight.
If we're not using these, No, it's gonna be way
Yeah,
too
I
wide.
can cut it down
Yeah, but it might like cut it down.
both ways. That'll work. We'll use that.
Like in theory, we're just gonna pop these off. And it's like 2 hours later. Can we pull it out from the top?
No, you're good.
Something else up here. Right here. This is attached up here. It's not.
I know, but
Try it. I don't know which one to hold.
always think like that. That's why I keep you around.
So when we first started seeing this home, one reason we really weren't that interested is because we knew we wanted to hit the 2-year mark at our old house so we didn't have to pay capital gains. So we kind of watched it. Finally, we started realizing, hey, this thing's still available. We might be able to close on it within that 2-year mark that we would like. And so that's kind of what perked our interest a little bit. The other thing that we had to work past was our other house wasn't even for sale yet. We weren't looking to buy a house. We kind of like bought it out of curiosity. I say we buy houses on accident. And so we had to go, okay, how can we negotiate this and get our house sold? And so
and make it like super clean. One day in, close on one, next day close on another kind of thing.
So some of it, it's risky. And that's the thing that I think we want to share too, because we put a deposit down that was non-refundable, and I say I would never encourage any of my clients to do that. So I would never encourage my clients to do that, but we did that with confidence that we thought we could sell our house fast, and we did. We sold it in a day.
Wasn't I your client then? You gave me.
I gave you, yep. So, but the point is, when you're doing things like this, there's always unknowns, there's always things, so it does take a little bit of a risk. So you have to be careful. You have to be able to afford the risk a little bit, that you're not putting yourself in a bad financial situation.
And for us, you can always move a closing date up. We had an original closing date scheduled for October 7th or whatever it was. And when we got in contract for the house that we were selling, we were able to move the purchase of this house up to mirror with that sales date of the selling date of the other property, and that would allow us a week or so to get started doing some work. So that first week we started ripping up a whole bunch of stuff: carpet, flooring, the spindles going up the stairway, the bathrooms. You know, you realize the size of a house when you start ripping it up, and this one was a lot to handle, and there's still a lot of things that need to be ripped up, but you know, we're getting to the point now where we're starting to put stuff back together, and as opposed to taking things apart. So it's going to start to snowball, and we'll have a finished product here pretty soon.
But definitely getting quotes and having trusted professionals in the field that you can call, because it is hard to find, people that you trust that can come and do the work, quality work. And so now we kind of have our crew that we've learned over time, and we stick to them, and we work around their schedule a little bit. But yeah, definitely the timeline and lining things up is really important in making it livable. And then this house, since we moved in the middle of construction, we were moving stuff into dust. And I'm like, I have to keep reminding myself, this is self-inflicted. We chose to do this, and just try to keep a positive attitude, because it's really hard when you're wanting to put your dishes away, but there's dust all around and you don't have countertops yet. So
we had a cardboard box with jelly stain all over it as a countertop, and no running water on the first floor for almost a week.
I paid our oldest daughter to take dishes to the bathtub.
Did you actually pay her?
Well, no.
Our contractor's coming in. He's going to add a wall right here, and we're going to leave a door about yay. We need to mark that for him where we want the door. He's going to add a closet, and then this will be a 5th bedroom. So that's the idea there. And so we're going to rip up the carpet now. I think our contractor's coming in tomorrow morning to build the wall, so we're going to get this carpet out of here and haul it away. Hopefully the thing breaks. That'd be nice. Still water in it. Man, things are heavy. What I'm supposed to, if this thing sits outside the tile, I have to pull it out a little bit, but this thing runs right over top of. So I don't know if I think I'm gonna have to go around it. So.
What are you trying to figure out?
Um.
What was wrong with the piece where you had it?
I actually need to take this whole piece off because my girl likes too big.
Oh, okay.
The supervisor is here. She has arrived.
I am here, ready.
That's sweet, man. So the remote, show me.
Yeah, so we got you all set up. Your remote is wall mounted over here,
Okay.
and each shade is tied to an individual number. So if you want to, if you want to control just one shade, you highlight that number. You can do all 4 of them. If you wanted, let's say you wanted to just do 3 and 4 because you want to block the sun coming out of that side of the sky for the, your TV purposes or something like that.
Yeah.
Then just make sure you highlight those. The most common one you're going to use though is probably all, which will control them together. So you just hit all, make sure it's highlighted, and then open or close. So right now they're open, so we'll just have all and then close.
Okay.
And it's got a memory.
Sweet.
So whatever you chose last, it's going to keep on there. So if you just stuck it on all the whole time, all you
Cool.
have to do is hit open or close.
So if there's 2 more, 5 and 6, if we were to add like 2 more somewhere.
We could tie them into the same thing.
Cool.
And if you went bigger than that, we could redo these and tie all of those just to the number 1.
Oh,
And then
okay. Oh,
all the
okay.
kitchen just to the number 2.
Sweet. Yeah. See what Santa brought us. So good though. Throw me a curveball and knock you right off the park. You're a different guy though. To see where it has come for the before and after, from a house that we quote unquote said, we think we can make it work, to a house that we say, oh my gosh, we love it, wouldn't change anything about it. It came together really well, and I thank Heather for the design. Every design she's done has been spot on. And everything came together so well, and it's been a lot of fun to watch it and now to live in it.
And it's funny because people will say, "Oh my gosh, we didn't have that vision for the house," and we're kind of like, we didn't really quite either. It just kind of evolved over that, and so we were kind of surprised ourselves how it turned out. So one reason we kind of wanted to document this is obviously we're proud of it and it's fun to kind of see the before and afters ourselves, but really it's to motivate other people. We started with very, very little at our beginning stages of our journey, and we've just kind of snowballed it over time. And so we kind of just wanted to show you what we've kind of ended up with and encourage others to take those chances and have fun with it, and hopefully encourage some other people to do their own little renovations or start their own real estate journey.
Yep, like I said earlier, there's nothing that is broken that can't be fixed, or nothing that can't be renovated into something that you love yourself. So it's all about taking that first step, put one foot in front of the other. It's a process for sure, but at the end of the day, 100% worth it. Thanks for stopping by. Bye. See you next time.
So what do you think your parents do as realtors? What do you think the kind of work that they do is? Like, what do they do during the day?
Get money. I think what my parents do is help other people sell their house. Like, pretend some people haven't wanted to buy their house in a month, and they already lowered the price a lot. They would just like tell them like what they should do, like pretend they still have the decorations in. How about like you show the decorations, like no decorations, so then they'll see like where they would put their decorations, like furniture and everything.
What does that mean?
So if you guys were part of the design crew, what part of the home would you pick and why?
What would you change? What would you do if you were designing the house? Like, pick a room, and what would you do to that room?
Yeah, I'll put like as much sports things as possible. Like, I'll get like one area just like grass and turf, like, and then another area a half-court basketball room, and then another area like a bicycle thing, and then like I don't know, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, like what I would do is in the basement, I'd put a room that's like that we can do sports in, like, I don't know, like with walls that you can bounce things like lacrosse balls off of and you wouldn't break anything.
This is where we like to work together. This is my side.
Here's my side. This is where the deals get done, right here.
This is where the contracts get written up.
At least she does the deals. I just sit here and look pretty.
Both mom and dad make decisions, but I think mom makes a lot of the final calls, because if she really doesn't like something, then it's not gonna happen.
So start that part over. Like the last house we renovated, Heather and I found online. Like but talk a little faster. Like get to the point a little faster. Go.
Okay. So the last home that we renovated was kind of a unique story because, well, he's gonna edit all that anyway. All right. So.
Well, I think who is the most bossiest is Daddy. Daddy. Well, because mom said, Dad says yes or no, so that's being bossy.
Yeah, and that house was a little rough. I had to go back again and say, oh my gosh, are we really doing this? Are we really gonna live here? And I showed my mom the house and she cried. And so it was kind of scary. But now you would never know. And when we sold that one, we had multiple offers, and I kept thinking, oh, if they could only see what it looked like beforehand. It was a little rough.
I mean, we had neighbors coming over going, "You're buying this house?" And I mean, it was a scary one. And when we were done with it, with her design and a little bit of my elbow grease, turned out great. It was fantastic. And you need 2 hands. And that's it. Get to work.
Oh, what if someone doesn't have to? That's not.
We'll cut that out.
That's terrible. No,
Well, if they
you
don't
can have as many hands as you have. It's
You have as many
fine.
hands as you want. Fine, have 4. We actually have 4 combined.
I saw her eyes. She was like,
Oh yeah.
oh, wait.
I'm like,
But what if you
but
have
you
1
must
hand?
have 2 hands.
I didn't say must. I said
I know. Money disappears. You don't have to. It will disappear. So we've been really intentional on just rolling it into the next one. So no matter where you are financially or how much you think you can afford, just start somewhere. And I think in a few years you'll look back and go, "Wow, I'm so glad I started then and not waited because of fear or other issues that keep us back."
right. And we want you as clients. Yes, of course.